Hello, my friends. In reality, there is no personal separate self that owns and runs a life. There's only life. The illusory separate self is just a hollow identity, imagined to be real and constant, contrived out of our name, our memories, and the directives and conditioning of society. An apparent history of thoughts and memories strung together until they feel like a solid, continuous identity. So the illusory me looks to this string of past memories to inform it towards future pleasure and security, and calls this its known. After decades of hit or miss results, from manipulating all the material options in memories, the unsatisfied mind may remember it heard something somewhere about enlightenment and embark on a spiritual path. But if this seeking for enlightenment, liberation, or spiritual awakening is born out of fear, dissatisfaction, and a desperate desire for personal knowing and control, the illusory me identity is doomed from the start to never accomplish its goal. Because there is no one, no actual self or continuous identity. There is only all of life, this everything. The separated you is illusion, and of course, an illusion cannot control or determine anything. Because the ego mind thinks it's a real separate identity, instantly self-protection is key, an irrepressible impulse towards unease and control. This fear and restlessness may present as fear of mortality, death, and serious illness, fear of being unloved, alone, and abandoned, or perhaps fear of insufficiency or a lack of security for the future. But ultimately, these are all just one fear, the fear of the unknown. And the feeling that if you just knew, that knowing could provide you with control over your life and eliminate being haunted by this fear. The strong illusion of an illusory central self, somehow separate and independent from life or its source, seems to make one feel they are alone and afraid in a hostile universe. So, we want to become enlightened, omniscient, know everything, know how life works, how to increase bliss and escape the so-called suffering parts and reunite with our source, from which we actually have never been separate. It can be useful to see how when you thought you were seeking enlightenment or working towards spiritual awakening, actually, all you were wanting was to know and control. Because true awakening and enlightenment are the polar opposite of knowing and controlling. They exist only in this moment, in the unknown. Enlightenment is simply life itself, unfolding exactly as it is with no known interference or control originating from an illusory you. It's also useful because there tends to be a false air of importance about embarking on the spiritual path, as if it's special or noble, the supreme endeavor and purpose in life. But assigning that false sacred stature to spirituality and getting enlightened is simply a disguised craving for personal knowing and control. This desire for security of the known and for control is so strong in the illusory self It can infect even the so-called enlightened ones on the spiritual path, as can be seen by selves who appear to have some deep samadhis or awakening and then promote and sell themselves as gurus or teachers of the same. What could feel more secure and gratifying to an illusory master me self than to have thousands of reverend students worldwide telling you that your knowing is infinite and clear, you are enlightened, and that they trust your instruction to teach them how to gain the same control to navigate their life and the next one. And what could feel more secure and gratifying to the illusory seeker-student self than some deluded certainty of knowing they finally found the one who truly knows and can tell them, so pretty soon they too will know and understand. True freedom can only be present when there is no one trying to know, gain supreme knowledge, or control any aspect of life and death. No one trying to go from not knowing and being unenlightened to all-knowing and enlightened, so as to change their life experience. No one trying to get enlightened, nothing to attain, and no one to attain it. Most illusory selves are not willing to live in the apparent insecurity, frailty, and lack of control of the unknown, and will therefore remain as seekers and students. Or perhaps they will have some dazzling cosmic experiences, think they know, and become teachers. This message is expressly for those who are willing to embrace the mystery, the unknown, which is simply life being itself and unfolding perfectly. We'll talk again soon. Thanks for joining me.